So which is deadlier, the coronavirus or Lassa fever? Yo, what's up guys, how you all doing? Welcome to another video. In my last video I talked about the novel coronavirus, and some of you watched it and you actually asked me to do a video on Lassa fever, because here in Nigeria Lassa fever is more important to us compared to the coronavirus, because we have not had a case yet of the coronavirus in Nigeria. So this is it. In this video I'll be comparing both the coronavirus and the Lassa fever. Anyway, before I talk about Lassa fever, let's talk about some updates concerning the coronavirus. As you all know, the coronavirus has been on the news for some time now, and it was first discovered in Wuhan, China, and the figures have been quite astonishing, talking about those that are infected and those that have been confirmed dead. As about when I'm shooting this video, which is about today is the 10th of February 2020, the death toll is about 800 people, and that is actually rising, and it's very, very sad. While the confirmed case of infection is about more than 36,000. And also there's good news, because 1,500 people have been released. That although we know that there's no treatment for this disease, but there's what we call symptomatic treatment. That means if a patient comes with fever, or it comes with headache, it comes with whatever it comes with, which we know that for the coronavirus the symptoms are fever, cough, and shortness of breath, we treat the symptoms. So about 1,500 people have been released that's from a news source from China. So WHO has declared the new coronavirus as an international health emergency, and what this means is that it's putting all the countries on alert. It's not trying to make them panic, but they're trying to make them be on their toes, at least to be ready to contain this virus if, for instance, it gets into a country. So some other updates about the coronavirus is about the incubation period. It's about 2 to 14 days, and the incubation period simply means from when the person is infected to when the first symptom appears, or when the person has the first symptom. So that's what they call the incubation period, and it's about 2 to 14 days. And the transmission, as we all know it right now, is from person to person, but we're told that this virus was first of all gotten from, some people say it's bats, some others say it's from snakes, but let's say it's from wild animals. So what is Lassa fever? Lassa fever is a zoonotic acute viral illness that is endemic in parts of West African countries like Sierra Leone, Liberia, Guinea, and Nigeria. And it was first discovered in a town in the northern state of Nigeria, which is also known as Lassa, in Borno State. And its transmission, people are usually infected when they come in contact with food and items that have been contaminated with urine and the feces of this rat. This reservoir animal is a rat, the marmot rat, and specifically Mastomys natalensis. And this incubation period is from 6 to 21 days. Symptoms of Lassa fever may occur typically from about 1 to 3 weeks, and they may range from mild symptoms from fever, generalized body weakness to headache, to more severe symptoms that may include bleeding from orifice, which means from maybe bleeding from the eyes, from the nostrils, from the gums, and also we have the vomiting, and also this patient may have swollen face, chest pain, abdominal pain, or even back pain. You can also have symptoms like shock, which has to do with a decrease in oxygenated blood supply to vital organs. And it can also lead to neurological symptoms like hearing difficulty or hearing loss, and tremors, and even death. Yes, that's serious. And how do we diagnose this disease? So we use a test called enzyme-linked immunoresorption microbiome serologic assay, also known as a LASSA test. And what happens is that this test detects antibodies, which are maybe specifically antibodies like immunoglobulin M and immunoglobulin G, and also detects the LASSA fever antigen. So we can also use the PCR test, which is the polymerase chain reaction test. And what this does is it just detects the presence of this virus in the blood. Mind you, this disease has no vaccine, but it has been proven that the drug called ribavirin, which is a viral drug, which is an antiviral drug, has shown to be most successful in treating Lassa fever. And the ribavirin is used in different regimens. I think we have the Iwa regimen and the McCormick regimen, which I don't want to bore you with all that, but it's treatable. So how do we prevent this disease? Number one is avoiding contact with mastomized rats or rodents. Number two is making sure that our foods are properly stored. Making sure that wherever you're keeping your food, it's rodent-proof containers that rodents can have access to, and also making sure that our refuge is properly disposed, not keeping dirty plates around in the house. That means you wash all the dirty plates before you go to sleep. And maybe even having a cat in the house has shown to be very effective, because cats are known to chase away rats. Having a cat in the house or having rat traps in the house is also a very good one. Personal hygiene, guys, personal hygiene. It is important that we wash our hands every time, more than 6 times in a day. And it's also advisable not to eat these rodents. I know some of us like eating rats. In some cultures they eat rats, but it's important we don't eat this species of rat, which is the mastomized rat. And another one is making sure that we don't burn the bushes around us. If we're going to burn the bushes around us, we should make sure that our homes are properly sealed. That means every hole, every corner that a rat can enter through has to be sealed, and we have to have a cat in the house or have rat traps. And for me, I believe it's even better to cut the grass than to burn them, because when we burn them, we dislodge these rodents and they try to look for a home to stay. And if your house is close there, they make your house their home. So it's important that we don't burn bushes around us. Yes, and for health workers, it's important that we also precautious measures like being alert and making sure that every patient that has a fever, we are alert. That means we wear our protective gloves, protective gowns, glasses, goggles, whatever you call them, boots, and making sure we report every case of Lassa fever to the authorities. So which is deadlier, the coronavirus or Lassa fever?
Yeah, so right here is a publication by a newspaper called The Guardian. The Guardian is a very popular newspaper in Nigeria, and it says Lassa fever more deadlier than coronavirus. And it goes ahead to say that the Director General of Nigeria's Center for Disease Control, Dr. Chikwe Ihiwezu, has said that contrary to widely held notion, Lassa fever is more deadlier than coronavirus. Ihiwezu, who stated this while addressing members of the House of Representative Committee on Health Services, said that so far about 364 cases of Lassa fever had been identified across 23 states in the country, with 47 deaths, adding that there might be more of such cases as a result of environmental issues in the country. He said that about 1% of those affected by the coronavirus had actually died of the ailment, adding that those who died of the virus are either aged people or those with health-related issues. But a speaker, which is known as Femi Igbaja Biamila, who was part of the briefing, was not convinced about the decision of the disease. about the submission of that the disease was not as deadly as being painted in the media. So he is actually countering that opinion. So I think he asked the director whether they were prepared to travel to China to attend to Nigerians there, since they are convinced that the coronavirus was not deadly. So you see, so he's a member of the House of Representatives that is part of the health services that is actually confronting the statement that was made by the Director General of the Nigerian Center for Disease Control. So guys, I don't know what you guys think, but let me hear your opinions in the comment section, because I feel that the coronavirus is more deadly than Lassa fever, because Lassa fever has been in Nigeria for 50 years, and if we had something like the coronavirus for that long, let me not just say it. Anyway, back to the video.
So which is deadlier, coronavirus or Lassa fever? Anyway, the statistics speak for themselves. Coronavirus, as of this time of the recording, it has 36,000 infected cases, more than 36,000 infected cases, and 800 deaths as of the time of recording this video. While Lassa fever has had about 100,000 to 300,000 cases, infected cases, and 5,000 deaths. And looking at it, Lassa fever has been with us for like 50 years, and it's very, very surprising that we don't have a vaccine up to now. It's very sad anyway. And the coronavirus is just starting. It just was discovered on the 31st of December 2019, and you can look at the correlation. And for me, I would say the coronavirus is really deadly, and it's very infectious. One person alone can infect almost 14 people, and it's a new virus, and we don't yet have figures. We don't have a lot of facts about it. So for me, I take it as a very dangerous virus compared to the Lassa fever virus. I'm not trying to belittle the Lassa fever virus. In fact, for us Nigerians, we need to take the Lassa fever virus very serious, because it's actually its season right now. From about December to around June, it's season, and it's surprising that we don't have a cure yet. We don't have a vaccine yet. So in a nutshell, I would say that we should not panic, but we should be alert and taking our personal and environmental hygiene very, very seriously, because it goes in a long way to prevent this disease. So guys, hope you learned one or two things from this video. I would like to hear from you in the comment section below, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you share this video, and I will see you in my next video. Peace out.